Hello, welcome. Those of you who already know me know that I'm Emily. If you don't know me, then you may have seen my recent work that I did, an arcane demo, which is possibly why you're here. I work mostly in Storyline and Illustrator, and I kind of go a little bit too in depth with kind of how I work with things to make things that little bit more intricate and a bit more interesting. And today I'm going to be showing you how we create kind of like a fun interaction with Overwatch. You might know I'm definitely a keen gamer. Haven't gamed for a long time since before we had kids, but as you can see, I'm big into Diva, and the headphones kind of give it away as well. So if I've got time, I'm going to do a little bit of a demo on the bunny logo as well from Overwatch. So let's get started. And hi, welcome. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. It's afternoon here. I'm in Portugal. Let's see. Okay, so obviously we work in Storyline, but to begin with, I am going to be using Illustrator. There's so much you can do in Illustrator, but I'm not a pro whatsoever. I literally only know how to do the odd thing here and there, which is all I use it like fit for purpose. So I'm going to start by opening up this logo here. So first things first, I will kind of just find something that's ready-made, a PNG or something, because a lot of the time you cannot find a vector version, which is like a pre-made that you can cut and take apart and remake in Illustrator. So a lot of the time you're stuck with PNGs which start like this, which is just an image with a clear background, which I've just searched for on Google. But I want to be able to take this apart. And to do that, the first thing I will do is I will go to image trace. Now, there's probably better ways to do what I'm going to show you, but because I'm kind of self-taught in this, I've just kind of figured out my way of doing things. So if you go to Window and go to Image Trace, and then you've got all these different presets here. High fidelity photo tends to work quite well. Oh, just give it a second to update its thing. Hey, I just found your comments. Bom dia! And good morning from Ohio. I'm from PA. And East Coast. Wow, hi everyone. I don't know if I'm more nervous that lots of people are watching or not many people are watching. And I've just clocked how many people are watching. Oh, now I've gone really nervous. Okay, so back to it. So if you've got an image, yeah, literally go to Google. That might be a better thing for me to do actually, and just show you literally start from finish how I go about finding my images. So a lot of the stuff I do is just for fun. So I just do a Google search and get whatever I can find. Overwatch logo. So I would do this, and apologies, my keyboard is really loud. And you can see here, because of the squares behind, this is a transparent one. So when you download that, you get the same effect as we've got here. So I can put that. No, I could put that before I started doing the image trace. Could put that over to the grey and the background would still be clear. So back to where we were. Apologies, I'm getting sidetracked. So high fidelity photo view. I always like to see the tracing result with the outlines, so you can see exactly where it's cut around the edges. Then you know if it's definitely worked the way you want it to. Okay, so we've got that, and then that's still one piece at the moment. We can't do anything with it. So we want to expand it. So we'll click the expand button up here. And then this will allow us now, if we right click and ungroup, then we can start taking pieces apart. But before I do that, I'm going to take a copy of this. Oops. So I've been pre-organizing before this stream, just to make sure I know what I'm doing. I haven't really practiced this. I've been thinking about it all night, what I've been going to do, so it might be a little bit all over the place. Apologies. Oh no, my mouse has just died. Oh, for goodness sake. Sorry, 2 seconds. I just have to swap my mouse over. Oh no, I think we're okay. Right. So, yeah, we've got a copy of this one. I'm going to highlight the two sections, the orange one and the grey one. I'm going to copy those, Control C, and I'm going to paste those again here. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a circle, because what I'm going to have happen is I want that orange piece to separate when we get it into storyline. But when I bring these in as two separate pieces, I need them to sit perfectly over the top of each other so they keep the same shape. Because if I bring them in as just a tiny chunk at the top and then the big chunk at the bottom, then it's difficult to match them up again. But this is a little thing that I do quite regularly just to keep everything in line. I will draw a circle around there, and I will take that piece and I will copy it and put it over here. And now I'll delete that piece from here. And then once you've selected those two, I'll right click and make clipping mask, and the same on the other piece. Highlight them both together and right click and make clipping mask. So if I select those two circles now and I align them left and to the bottom, they will sit absolutely perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and export these. Oh, to export, I go to Asset Export and then drag them over. Let's call this piece top and this piece bottom. And we'll export that. Hello, Luke. And select that folder there. So when we go into storyline now, sorry, I'm doing things because I've set storyline up the way that I use it. I've got quite a few shortcuts set up because I'm always adding images. So I've gone to, instead of insert picture, I will right click on that and it says minimize. You can add it to add to quick access toolbar, which means it's right up here and it's super fast for me to add an image. I'll just click that one and then I can find my images really quickly. So I'm going to select both of these, the top and bottom that we just did in Illustrator. And you'll see they sit in perfectly. So if I move this and I move this and then select them both and align left or center, then they just sit together nicely. I'm going to shrink that down a bit. And let's pop that in the middle. And that one. Right then, so from here, I had a thought that it might be nice to, when you hover over it, the top piece moves out, perhaps. So to do that, let's make sure the top piece, I'll label it so it's easier to see which one's which. So I will add a motion path now. Animations, add motion path, and we're going to do a line. I don't want it to be huge and go flying out the screen. So I'm just going to do, say, 50 pixels and see what happens here. Automatically, when we add a motion path, certainly in my storyline, it automatically says that it will make it move along that motion path when the timeline starts. I never use anything on timeline start, or rarely do. So we're going to change that to move top along motion path 1 when mouse hovers over wherever it's gone. Mouse hovers over top. And it will go pretty quick. So let's just, 5 seconds is possibly too long. So let's have a very quick preview of how that looks. Okay, so okay, this is always trial and error. It's gone downwards, obviously, because I didn't set it to right. So I don't know if any of you guys were watching that and thinking, oh my gosh, she's such an idiot, she did it wrong. So we actually want that to go up, not down. And I'm going to change it again to 50 pixels. And 5 seconds is a little bit too long. So let's try that again. There we go. So that's kind of doing something, but it's not very pizzazzy just yet. So from here, I think we're going to go back to Illustrator, and then let's take a copy of both of these. And I'm going to change the colors around because maybe when we hover over it, it'll do something nice. Now, I've already found a few bits and bobs. I like the colors that Diva has, particularly the pinks and the purples. And I'm quite lazy when it comes to finding colors and whatnot. So I will use the snipping tool here, and I will do a new snip, and I will highlight just a little bit of that screen. Then I'll go Control C to copy that, and then we'll go back into Illustrator and Control V. And then I've got some colors here already. So rather trying to figure out the color code, I will just then highlight the orange, and I will color pick the dark pink there. And then again, I'll highlight the gray, and let's color pick maybe the purple color. I'm not sure. Oh, it's a bit much. Maybe this one. Actually, I think I like that color combination better. So then when I've made my colors, I will swap them out again. Top hover and bottom hover. Okay. Put those. And back into storyline. So now we're going into states. Edit states. We want a hover color now. And then right click and replace picture from file. And let's pick the purpley lilac-y one. And then I'm just going to hide that one so I can access the bottom one, because they're exactly the same shape, even because they've got the hidden circle. Replace picture, bottom hover, which is not that much of a color difference. Okay, and I'm going to change the trigger from here, not when the user hovers over that, because I want it to be when they go over the entire logo. So let's whack, actually we should do a circle to make it match. Let's pop a circle in over here. And then I generally use, instead of hotspots, I will always format a shape and change its transparency to 100%. So it's technically still there, but sorry, I'm seeing more comments coming up. Color Picker extension in Chrome is a good way to grab colors too. Awesome, thank you, Kyle. I will look that one up. And hello on YouTube as well. Hello there. Phil, I've got 100%. So technically your mouse will still hover over it and it's still there, but you can't actually see it. But it's a good way to cover things up that you can't access underneath, instead of using disabled states. But that could just be me being lazy. So now we've got it when we want to change this move top along motion path 1, not when the user hovers over that little bar, but actually when they hover over, when user hovers over 1. So let's preview this one to make sure that invisible button's working now. Yep, that's there, but we've not got the hover state showing. So now we'll do change state of top to hover when mouse hovers over 1, and we'll copy and paste that trigger and change state of bottom to when mouse hovers over there. So preview that and let's see what happens. Okay. I don't know if that bottom color changed at all. I'm just going to go into my preview and, sorry, my player, and get rid of all the extra gunk on the screen. Okay. Yeah, that's very true, Jeffrey, about accessible colors, not what looks good to us. This is just kind of a demo though to show you how I kind of throw things together and make things funky. Obviously, accessibility is a massive part of things, and does need to be taken into account. Right, change state of bottom 1 to hover. Let's change that picture. Hang on. Edit states. Replace picture from file. It could just be that it is too similar of a cover, too similar of a color. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay. So I will also grab all of this and we'll kind of make it come in a little bit nicer. I'll just make it zoom, see what happens. A lot of this when I'm working is completely trial and error. So I'll test something out and be like, oh, that might be cool. And then I'll do it and be like, oh no, that's really, really not good. So then I'll go back and I'll change it. I rarely get something smashed out straight away that looks the way I want it to. Okay, so there's kind of a little intro there. Other things we can do to make it a little bit more exciting is to just add a drop shadow. You can use the pre-built ones which show you a tiny little bit of shadow, or we can go into the options at the bottom here and let's make it even bigger. And we can change the color as well. I don't often use the black. I'll go for like a lighter color and just blur it out a little bit like that. And if we want to whack a color in the background as well, we can right click and format background and change the color to, let's go for, oh no, that doesn't work. Format background, something a bit paler perhaps. Well, you get the idea anyway. It's gone a bit shaky on mine. And then you would set up the trigger to when user clicks Overwatch logo, or it would actually be over one. Jump to slide, next slide. When user clicks over one. Okay, so that is just one tiny little demo for that bit. Oh, Amanda, you're so sweet. I want to do something a little bit more exciting now. I think I've got time. Now this could go horribly wrong, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. So let's just get rid of all of this. Let's just duplicate it, then we don't have to lose anything. And then let's change our backgrounds back to, I'm going to do a black background actually, because I think for what I need next, we need to have the solid black. Okay, so going back to the Diva logo, where am I? Illustrator. Okay, so if you're from the UK, you might understand this. In true Blue Peter fashion, here's one I made earlier. If not, I don't know if that means anything to you. It's just a show from the 80s when we were kids growing up. So I will start this one again so I can show you the process of how I actually get the outlines from a PNG. So I will go to, let me explain actually what we're going to do next before I go move on to it. Okay, so when you're playing Overwatch and you're doing really awesome and you get your ultimate weapon kind of comes up, you get 100%, it's like, right, awesome, I've got this super special thing that I can just kill everyone with. It's brilliant. For Diva, she has this self-destruct. She is actually this really awesome character here who has a mech or mecha, and she sits in there and she just blasts everyone. It's just insane. But when she gets a special, she can jump out of there and just explode her mech and just kill everyone in the area without hurting herself, obviously. But when you do get that special, this kind of icon here comes up and it's got flashing surround, and you click it and then that's when you can do the ability. So I'm going to try and recreate that, because if I was to do an Overwatch kind of demo like I did for Arcane, then I would do things like this. I'll take things from the game. I'll take inspiration from any buttons that they've got, health packs, things that you can open in the game, and just take like from the UI, the user interface, and just grab what I can to kind of make it part of. So it's seamless, so you can see, right, this is obviously to do with Overwatch, and just kind of reuse their work. So we're going to try and recreate this one now with an actual animation going around the background when it fires up. So let's move that back out the way. So first of all, I would need to find the Overwatch logo. So let's bring this one back in. Overwatch logo, Diva. Again, I just Google it, and then ideally you want to look for a PNG. They're usually quite good quality ones. And this is possibly the one I found already. And then you want to download that one, you can right click, save image as, and that will download. Now, when I bring it into here, same thing again, I've gone onto window and then image trace, and I've already done it on this one, but then from there I'll click high fidelity photo, tracing result with outline, so I can see that it's definitely picked up the area I want it to. And then I would make it, and then I would expand it. And here, now, you can still see the outlines here, but we need to right click and ungroup it, and then we get rid of all the extra bits we don't want, because it's literally just the bunny head. But you'll see, if I group all of this, move it around, eyes, I actually want the eyes to be see-through, because we've got stuff that's going to be going on in the background that you want to be able to see through. To do that, we need to make some paths. You need to use the Pathfinder tool. So I'll ungroup that again. And here, if I select these two together, and it'll be under Window, Pathfinder, I will click this one. No, I won't. I will click this one. And then if we just whack a color inside, we can see now, when I move that, I've got a see-through eye, because otherwise it looks like this. And we'll do the same thing for this one. Select the two areas and then use the Pathfinder tool. And then let's change the color to pink just so we can see it. And the nose and the mouth are already done. And then we actually want to take that out from the white bunny rabbit head. So to do that, we want to put those shapes all together. We want to unite them. So we'll click that one. And then we will do the Pathfinder tool again, like we did on the eyes, using this one. And now you'll see, it doesn't matter where you put the bunny, you can see straight through the eyes and the nose. Yeah, I literally only know a couple of things on Illustrator, Benjamin, and this is one of them. This and clipping masks are about all I do. So then we'll export this one. But I think I want to, what color do I want it? I think I want it in white. So let's just change it to white first. Make sure that is white. And pop it in there. And we'll call it E. I'll export that. So back into Illustrator. And then I've already got it on my quick access toolbar. We're going to insert our bunny that we've just done. Okay, let's shrink this down super, super tiny. I say I only use Illustrator and Storyline, but I actually use the snipping tool just as much, because to keep an idea on reference, then I will find this and I will take a little clip of that and I'll copy it and then pop it in here, and I'll stick it over in the side somewhere so I can keep looking at it, so I know roughly how I'm trying to build something. So I can see here I've kind of got the middle bit, and then what about the copyright? Yeah, well, I'm not selling it, so I'm hoping that it's okay just to grab things, because I'm not going to do anything with them except for show how I make stuff. So fingers crossed I'm not going to get in any trouble. And then let's create a circle here. We want a circle outline with a white outline and no fill inside. And then let's change the outline to really thick, even thicker than that. Let's go for 20 and see what that looks like. I have done, sorry, just coming back to you, Julia. I have done stuff before for EA Games that there was a lot of question about my copyright, but I wasn't allowed to say who I was doing the work for before. But I think because that one was paid, it was fine. They hadn't actually given me any assets to use as such, so I just had to grab what I could and like did screenshots from my husband playing Need for Speed and things. But yeah, generally speaking, if you're going to sell something, I guess you probably shouldn't be just grabbing stuff off the internet if you're not going to accredit where it came from either. Right, so here's our bunny so far. That's kind of what we got going on there. And then if we do some Googling, I've been looking for animated GIFs that have got that kind of electrifying outline. So, right, it's active, it's ready to go. I'm going to make it so that when you hover over the bunny, this pops up. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear my recording because I found some audio of Diva talking. So when you hover over it, well, it makes she comes out with one of her lines. Hopefully you'll be able to hear that, but I can't guarantee it. So I just Googled circle fire GIFs, and then I found this one, which is pretty cool. I'm going to save this one. Oh, it's already saved as blue flame. I'll do that one. And again, we can, I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this. We could do it with the invisible circle over the top again, or I've got these lined up central to each other, I believe. So I'm just going to cut the bunny, and then I'm going to edit the state of the oval. And in the normal state, I'm going to pop a bunny back in there. Because now, when we move this one, the bunny stays with it. But because I didn't do my kind of invisible filling, you have to grab the edge of the circle to actually do anything with it. I can't just grab the middle. So I'm going to go back and right click on the outline and go format shape and fill, solid fill, but let's make that 100%. So now I can just grab anywhere on that circle and drag it around. I don't have to just aim for the edge of the circle. And let's go, I think I want to put in a nice drop shadow in there as well. So because we're black on black, you can't see it very well. So I'm going to change the color of that to a lighter one. Let's go for something here. Still not bright enough. Or maybe we should go for pink because it is kind of her color. You can kind of see that. Anyway, let's not get bogged down in that too much. Yes, free pick is awesome. I use that quite a lot. No, I can't see the pink either. Thank you. Let's try that again. Shape effect, shadow options. Maybe let's just go for white. That might be better. Blur it a little bit. It's only supposed to be very subtle, but it does help if you can see it a little bit at least. Not sure I actually like that. So like I say, it's all trial and error. So let's actually just get rid of that for a second. Okay, moving on. So for the hover state, we want to have it so that that animated GIFs comes up behind. So we're going to go edit state, change it to hover, and then we're going to import our animated GIF. which is our blue flame. Now you'll see why I've chosen the black background, because unfortunately I can't often find animated GIFs with a transparent background, so it looks a little bit disjointed. So if you can never find quite what you're looking for, I'll try and rework my background to make the effect work that I want. So in this case, we've got the black background. We're going to set that behind, center back. And let's try and pop it in like that. That looks fairly central. Done editing. We can preview this and see what happens. So it kind of just like pow in your face, but it's a bit too much. So let's just change that to fade in. There's some of the effects in Illustrator, not in Illustrator, in Storyline are really good. Other ones, they don't quite have the kind of effect I want. There's so many more things I want them to be able to do. Animations, zoom. We can try zoom. Let's see what happens there. And let's set it to 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm still trying to keep an eye on the chat here. No, don't like that. Let's just have it fade for like 0.5 seconds. Edit states, hover, animation, fade, 0.5. Maybe that. Okay, so that's cool. And then if we add on our audio, which I hope you'll be able to hear, I just Googled Diva audio, Diva sound effects. And again, I've set my audio up on my quick access toolbar here because I use it regularly. And when I find it, sorry, I got so many folders. Nope, not there. Streaming. Is it on downloads? Nope. Okay, so I've lost that audio. Oh, we can add a different one in, just for the fun. Let's add a sci-fi noise. So by putting it on the hover state, and I only learnt this like a year ago, that you could put sounds on hover states, because I would always have a layer set up saying, so when you hover over a button, show layer 1 sound effect, and hide it afterwards. I had no idea you could actually add it to the state. And I thought I'd done it by accident, but everyone's telling me, no, you've been able to do that for ages. So I was like, oh, okay then. So let's preview this one now. I don't know if anyone heard that. But yeah, so that's a button there, and we can move that one and set it up here. And if we have a quick look at kind of how things look. So again, for reference, let's find somewhere that shows you something that pops up that we could use to show how text would display. UIs. There's not actually that much here. I mean, there's this blue box here. We could try and do something with that for a bit of inspiration. So let's get rid of this one, and I'll do the same thing I did before. And we'll snip that. And it's really easy just to remember what it is I'm doing and to kind of keep you on track with things. So we'll create a new layer. Any advantage of AI of XD? AI is great for creating changes. Yeah, I've used XD a little bit, but because I use Illustrator first, I find it very hard to go onto something else. It's like with Storyline, I was having some problems with Storyline, so I was like, right, I'm going to go to Captivate, and I just like, well, there's just too much new information to learn when I feel like I know so much about Storyline already. So I honestly don't know. I guess it's personal preference. For me, Illustrator, I literally only use it for clipping masks and image tracing. And so yeah, personal preference. I honestly don't know that much about XD. I think that's good for like creating flows, and actually I don't really know what XD is good for because I don't use it very much. We'll go ahead and create a shape here. XD is more for prototyping. Thank you, Benjamin. There you go. There's your answer. Right, so we're going to do like the light blue here and then a transparency here. So shape fill, and I'm going to steal that color from there, outline the same, and then copy and paste that. Let's go for the lighter blue and outline. Oh, let's not add an outline because sometimes when we change transparencies, it looks a little bit strange. So possibly like this, and then format picture, transparency. Okay, maybe we'll leave this one shorter. I'll get rid of that. And then, so if that comes up, maybe that could float in, and then this one could wipe from the left. Just a fraction of a second later. And then let's whack in some text. Hello, this is to me, typography is really important. Too often I see people do these really awesome things and then they've got like their text like this and there's just no equal spacing around the edges, or you get this is like it's called a widow, one word by itself at the end of a line. It's like, no, why would you do that to me? I find it really upsetting. So you want to change it to something like that, but make sure, please make sure there's always equal space all around the edges. That's just a massive pet peeve of mine. I don't know if anyone else has anything like that or if it's just me. So let's change this to, oh, I've got so many fonts here, I don't know. Anything will do. Yeah, that's really not the right sort of font. Yes, it's not just me. Yay! Woo! Go typography. Right, so, and we'll fade that one in as well. I was looking a little bit kind of bland here. Oh, and I've just realized I've put that all on the wrong layer. So we'll cut that and let's whack it on this layer instead. So now show layer 1 when user clicks over 1. Yeah, let's preview that. I don't think it's quite there yet. Hover over there. Obviously, it's a huge button. Okay, so the colors don't really work just yet, but what we will do is we'll find a funky background to put in. Overwatch wallpaper. We want something quite dark. I could do it. Oh, maybe we'll put a div one in there. Open image in a new tab, and then save image. Overwatch. Oh no, it's one of those. I don't know what some of these file names are, but I just know they don't work. So let's just be really lazy, and we'll just, it won't be brilliant quality, but we'll just take a screenshot of that one, and we'll save that as diva. In there. And close that one, and let's pop. Now we could put that one on this main layer. Let's bring her in like this. Arrange center back. Okay, so now you'll see it will be a bit too, I don't generally have dim on. I like to be able to see things properly. So to me that's like not clear enough, so I will want to fade out the background ever so slightly. So on layer 1, I'll insert another rectangle straight over the top, and we're going to right click and format that shape because we're going to give it a gradient fill. The presets are not what I want. I only want 2 stops, so I'm going to remove one. Stop one, let's make them both black anyway. because stop 2, we're going to change the transparency to 100%. Now you see it's darker at the top and lighter at the bottom. I want that, but I want it going from right to left. So let's change the direction from here to here. And then we can fade that, and let's give that a preview as well. Okay, so we got our hover. That button's absolutely huge. It would probably be a lot smaller normally, but just for the sake of a demo. And there you go. So that's kind of all I really had planned. Hopefully it was helpful. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to sit here and answer anything if anyone puts anything in chat, or I can catch you up in the lobby. Control F12 is shortcut for previewing the individual slide. Let me try that. Control F12. Wait. Control F12. Dun, da, da. Hey, thank you. Awesome, Kyle. I like it. Yeah, this. Oh, wait, look at that. See, this is a problem now because I've just looked at this. We've put a background in, and because our animated GIF has not got a transparent background, we've got this going on. So to kind of work around that, let's go to layer 1, copy that and paste it. Let's flip it around the other way. Transform. Where's transform gone? You think I know where all this stuff is, but when I'm put on the spot, I get all confused. And let's put that one behind the logo, but in front of Diva. And let's just change the gradient stop position because I don't want her to be that blacked out to begin with. So that might be okay. Let's check out states. Oh, we can see the corner is still a little bit iffy there. What if we do an angular one? Oh, wrong angle. Oh, it's because I rotated it, and I rotate, flip back to where it was. Okay. That might be okay. Right, let's preview that one. Yeah, we can just about get away with that. But again, if your button was like that much smaller, then it'd just take up a tiny portion. It'd be so much easier to have a display. So yeah, there you go. Any questions? Then fire away. Or like I say, I will just hang out in the lobby for a minute. Or if anyone's got any questions, if you're watching on YouTube, then drop them in the comment section there. And thank you very much. And thank you to Devlin for having me. And hopefully I can make this a regular spot. And if anyone's got any kind of suggestions on something that they want to see, ideally gamer inspired, because that's kind of where my excitement lies when it comes to doing stuff like this. Because we don't get to do this stuff very often. Certainly within paid work, it's very rare that I've actually been able to do some really, really awesome stuff. So it's just nice to be able to showcase your own bits and bobs, what you enjoy doing, which is why I did the arcane demo. So if anyone's got a suggestion of a cool topic, then let me know and I'll try and do it for the next one. Oh, sorry, I'm on comments now. Yes, Uncharted. Husband used to play that one. I know Tiny Tina's coming out on Friday. My husband and I have booked the day off so we can kind of go nuts playing that. But I'm banned from doing that one because he's going to be doing a demo on that at some point. Uncharted, yeah, definitely. Oh, thank you. And thank you so much for everyone watching. This is like kind of overwhelming. Oh, do you use, oh my goodness, variables. Yeah, so there are some things I do which are an absolute nightmare. And it's only, I would say, oh, where's my YouTube? Sorry, so many questions. I'm getting sidetracked. Right, one thing at a time. Variables, yes. I never used to use variables. I literally only use layers and triggers. And then I found out about variables. And wow, there's so much more I can do. And they do get pretty in-depth and confusing at times. But if you can get your head around them, I literally have to do variables all in one go. If I think, oh, I just start working on this and I'll come back to it later, I'm screwed and I have to delete all of it and start again. They definitely come in handy if more than one thing's going on the page. But it took me a while to get my head around them because I'm not very mathematically, well, I'm a bit mathematically challenged, shall we say. Hence why I thought the date for doing the stream as well, I thought it was 3 p.m. GMT time. It's actually 1 p.m. because I'm not very good at working out time zones either. Next question, where is my YouTube site? I've literally just started it. You'll see in the, if I can point because this is back to front, over here, I've got a little cat ears logo there. I've got releasing next month, I've got Pick and Mix Studios, which is something my husband and I have been working on for a long time. Oh, thank you, Isabella. And I'll be putting up templates, tutorials, and some other stuff up there. And you'll find it, yes, where Isabella's just put the link in, pickandmixcreator.com. Oh, Pick and Mix Creator is not ready yet. pickandmixstudios.com. Is the best place to go, but there's not much there until next month. LinkedIn is the best place to find me, recent stuff. And I do have a portfolio page, which was teamchorley.com/portfolio, I believe. Animal Crossing, yeah, that would be cool. Very cool. Yes, variables do take a lot of trial and error, Jeffrey, definitely. Oh, Jeffrey, hello. So many names that I recognize here. Yes, I will be sharing a recording of this. On my demos page, I'm hoping to open up an area where I can kind of put all these little mini snippets, because my idea is just to do small ones. So it's not like, okay, let's spend 2 hours doing this and everyone get confused and just fed up of seeing me getting things wrong all the time. So I hope by doing little things and something new every time, it'll be like little bite-sized inspiration for people. What else? Yeah, I think that's everything. But yeah, again, thank you everyone for coming. A massive thank you to Isabella for helping me set everything up, because I've been super nervous and hope I didn't stumble too many times. And again, thank you to Devlin for giving me the spot. Adding shapes with gradients over pictures is something I need to practice. Yeah, definitely. Oh, thank you, Laura. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of little things. What other little tidbits can I kind of help out with? Because I'm self-taught in all this kind of stuff, and so I've just learned things as I've needed to find out what to do. So, for instance, if I needed to have something happen specifically, I will Google how do I make X happen to make Y and Z do this sort of thing. I haven't learnt storyline through tutorials from the bottom up, so I don't know a lot of the really simple stuff. I've just gone straight in at the deep end and tried to figure things out. What did you do? What? So I haven't got my glasses on either because the reflection is really bad. So, so I'm struggling a bit. What did you do to help you best self-taught? All trial and error, completely like, all right, okay, so I've got this idea. I really want to be able to do this. And I will Google it. And if I can't find it, then I'll keep trying. And if something doesn't work, I'm like, because then I just keep going and going until I actually get it. And ultimately, it's kind of like, in my head, storyline is like, right, you can do anything in storyline. I swear you can, but it's just finding out how to do it. So a lot of it is like, I won't stop until I've done it, just to prove to myself that I can do it. And the one thing I haven't really touched on with storyline is JavaScript. Because that coding, I used to do like a tiny bit of coding when I was building websites many moons ago, but I don't do anything like that now. And yeah, and I know there's so much more. It opens up so many doors being able to use JavaScript as well. So that is possibly something I need to look into. So yeah. Any other questions? Everyone's gone quiet now. No, I don't use JavaScript at all. No, that's all. I can open that one up very quickly if anyone wants to see how I built it. Let's have a look. Yeah, like I said, I'm useless with code. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. I'm going a bit red now and getting nervous, embarrassed. I always worry. I'm such an introvert, and it's quite strange for me to, when I'm actually talking to people, I'm absolutely fine. But if you saw me in real life, I'm such a nervous person, and I go bright red if someone talks to me. I'm very well, anxiety goes a bit nuts. Okay, so Arcane. This is again, you can see I've got my reference material to the sides here. It's all just images. This bit here is an animated GIF. Oh no, I'm so stupid. Hang on. Share my screen. There we go. Is that better? Oh dear. Okay, so let me go back. So I've got my reference material here. You can see where I've taken ideas from and looked at like, oh, how can I incorporate that into what I'm building? The colours, particularly here, Jinx, her colour with the blue, and the background with the ever so faint stripes and whatnot from this image. She comes in, Vi comes in as a hover state on the button, I believe. I've got, so the intro comes in, you actually don't see anything until you hover over the button. I think it's just a black screen. And then I got the background image to fade in and then Vi to come in from the side at the same time. And then, yeah, so if you let go, the background does disappear eventually. And then you hover again. Oh, it's just done it in reverse now. Like that. And then to make the effect of her then fading out afterwards, because when you click that, oh, it won't show you. Something else I found out as well. You don't have to preview all the slides at once. You can literally just highlight, you guys probably already know this, the 2 slides you want to view and then go preview selected slides. And then you don't have to spend ages going through half a course just to get to the slides you want. Which I thought that's awesome. Oh, I got that hiding there, shouldn't be there. So she fades in like this, and then when you click that, she then fades out and everything kind of does its own thing and whizzes off the screen. So it all just disappears like that. So to do that, I literally set the next screen up. I show you my timeline. Really, really short. So they start where they left off on the previous screen, and then I've set them all just to animate off the screen after, so fly out, fade out, and whatnot. And I've got all these tiny little markers up here. That's just for the kind of Jinx-inspired little monkey graffiti that comes up. So that's how that bit works. Yes, that's right. Select. You also have a select slide option if you preview all the sides. And again, I've used the fade because I love having background images. It's really nice stuff to look at. But because it was so bright and have the icons over the top, it's difficult to see them. So I've got my my rectangle in the back there, which fades out to nothing as well. These guys have the states. The hover state is the twirly image behind, which again I made in Illustrator and brought in. The scratch is the visited state, which is again inspired by Jinx and all her graffiti scratches and all her her fight inside her head. If you've seen Arcane, that might make sense to you. Looking at the time, I've got 5 more minutes. Don't know if it's just my storyline that's slow or if everyone's is like it. So these little guys that hover. And then taking inspiration from Arcane itself again. And this little blob down here, can you see that? Yeah, I'm not in the way of it. It's just an animated GIF. It was just an idea to use as kind of like a progression. So slide 1 of 2, slide 2 of 2, and then the more blobs you get, that's how far through the course you are. The next one, these rocks I found online again and just cut them out and created a clipping mask around them. Did you customize that visit state or replace the image from the pre-made buttons? Which one are we talking about? This one? Yeah, I didn't actually use the like, if I want to create a new state, I didn't just duplicate it and use the visited state, because sometimes it doesn't act the way I want it to. So I will use triggers to set it to do other things. So to get it to go to scratch, because I didn't want it to look visited as soon as you clicked it. So for instance, if we went onto Echo at the bottom here, I've got a trigger set up and change state of picture 9 to scratch when the user clicks a button 2. So it won't actually change that state until they've clicked this one. Because if I did it straight away, you'd click that and it just pop up straight away before you even get to this page. There'd be that slight overlap. Yeah, definitely. There's so many little things that annoy me in Storyline, but I shouldn't moan because there's so much you can do in it as well. Yeah, definitely use variable. Yeah, that's it. I literally got 2 minutes to go, so I won't go into any more because chances are I'll get halfway through and not be able to finish. But again, right, I'm going to say goodbye properly this time. Let me try and be clever and put my little screen back on. There we go. And thank you again, everyone, for coming. And it has been awesome. And you've made me feel nice and chill, nice and relaxed. And I'll be happy to do another one now. And everybody have a good day. Bye.